In a significant step toward curbing the global HIV epidemic, the European Medicines Agency, EMA, has recommended the authorization of a groundbreaking twice-yearly injectable medication designed to prevent HIV infection. Scientists and global health experts are hopeful that this drug could dramatically reduce transmission rates and potentially change the course of the decades-long fight against the virus. The drug, known as lenacapavir and marketed as Yeytuo in Europe by US-based pharmaceutical giant Gilead Sciences, has been described by the EMA as highly effective and of major public health interest. The agency released a statement on Friday emphasizing that their scientific evaluation of lenacapavir showed exceptional promise in preventing HIV transmission in people at risk. Once the EMA's recommendation is formally adopted by the European Commission, the drug will receive authorization for use in all 27 EU member states, as well as in Iceland, Norway, and Liechtenstein. This approval could mark a turning point in Europe's approach to HIV prevention, offering a long-acting alternative to existing treatments and reducing the burden of daily medication. Lenacapavir is already approved for treating people living with HIV, but recent trials have revealed its extraordinary effectiveness as a preventative measure. Studies conducted last year reported near 100% effectiveness in halting HIV transmission in both men and women. These findings have ignited optimism among public health advocates and infectious disease specialists. Winnie Byanyima, the executive director of the United Nations AIDS Agency, UNAIDS, has lauded lenacapavir as a potentially game-changing tool in the fight against HIV. This drug could change the trajectory of the HIV epidemic, she stated, emphasizing the urgent need to ensure that everyone who needs the drug can access it without financial or systemic barriers. In June 2025, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, also authorized lenacapavir for HIV prevention. More recently, the World Health Organization, WHO, included the drug in its recommendations as an additional preventative option for individuals at heightened risk of HIV, further reinforcing its global importance. Current HIV prevention strategies include the use of condoms, which remain effective when used consistently and correctly, and pre-exposure prophylaxis, PrEP, a daily pill regimen designed to reduce the risk of infection. Another injectable drug, cabotegravir, is administered once every 2 months and has been used as a longer-acting option. However, lenacapavir stands out by offering protection for a full 6 months with just one injection, the longest duration of any approved HIV prevention method to date. This longer dosing interval could provide critical advantages, especially for people who struggle with the stigma of taking daily medication, face logistical difficulties in accessing clinics, or live in regions where healthcare services are limited. Despite the enthusiasm, some experts and advocates have expressed concern that access to lenacapavir may remain uneven, especially in parts of the world where HIV rates are high. Gilead Sciences has stated that it will allow generic manufacturers to produce and distribute cheaper versions of the drug in 120 low-income countries, primarily across Africa, Southeast Asia, and the Caribbean. However, the company's licensing plan has faced criticism for excluding most of Latin America, a region where HIV prevalence is lower than in sub-Saharan Africa, but where infections are rising steadily. Health advocates argue that the omission represents a missed opportunity to contain emerging outbreaks before they escalate. According to UNAIDS, approximately 40 million people are currently living with HIV worldwide, and 630,000 people died from AIDS-related illnesses in 2024 alone. These numbers underscore the ongoing urgency of making effective prevention tools like lenacapavir available on a global scale. In a bold proposal, UNAIDS chief Byanyima previously urged former U.S. President Donald Trump to strike a deal with Gilead to license and produce lenacapavir broadly, dubbing the medication magical in its potential to transform the HIV epidemic if made affordable and accessible worldwide. As global health agencies continue pushing for equitable distribution, lenacapavir's approval in Europe marks a pivotal moment in HIV prevention, one that could help save countless lives if the momentum is matched with widespread implementation and access.